Hey everybody, welcome to another Fright Friday. Oh, my hair's all messed up. Today we're talking about The Howling. So I hope you'll stick around and watch this video. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed recently. I really appreciate that. Everybody's giving me a thumbs up or giving me a comment. It's been great. Thank you so much. It makes me excited to keep doing these videos. I hope you're enjoying them. If there's a movie you want me to review, just send me a comment or leave a comment on one of my videos and I will be sure to catch that. Of course, I can only review the movies I have or can find on streaming, but generally I've only, or actually, no, not generally, I've only ever reviewed movies that I have a physical copy of, so hopefully if you do request a movie, it's one that I have. I go back on my channel. I've got playlists for Fright Friday as well as Cult Movie Tuesday. And I also have my thrifting haul videos, which seem to be really popular. So be sure to check those out. You can follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video. But today, right here on Fright Friday, which is my horror movie reviews every Friday. I review a horror movie every Friday. Today we are talking about The Howling. So this film is a horror movie, obviously, which came out in 1981. It was directed by Joe Dante, of course, of Gremlins fame, among others, of course. I know you're going to think this is pretty wild, but this was actually a first watch for me this time. I don't think I've ever seen this movie before. So I've heard so much about this movie, and so I was so curious to dive in, and this has such a dedicated following that I really wanted to check it out. So when I finally came across a copy of it, I was very excited to watch it. This stars Dee Wallace from Poltergeist as well as E.T. It also stars Patrick Macnee, who was Sir Charles Eaton Hogg in This Is Spinal Tap, and he was also in the Avengers television show. There's other people in the cast, but those are the only two I put. So the synopsis for this film is, in Los Angeles, television journalist Karen White, played by Dee Wallace, is traumatized in the course of aiding the police in their attempt to arrest a serial murderer. Her doctor recommends that she attend an isolated psychiatric retreat led by Dr. George Wagner, played by Patrick Macnee. But while Karen is undergoing therapy, her colleague, Chris, played by Dennis Dugan, investigates the bizarre circumstances surrounding her shock. When his work leads him to suspect the supernatural, he begins to fear for Karen's life. This is a werewolf movie, if you didn't already guess that. I don't think there's not really good pictures on the back, although it does say at the very top that this is one of the best werewolf movies ever made from, it just says Los Angeles. It doesn't say Los Angeles Times or something. It just says Los Angeles. So did the city decide that this was one of the best werewolf movies ever? I don't know. This was a Joe Dante movie, as I mentioned. Joe Dante hired his friend John Sayles to write the script. The two had previously collaborated on Joe Dante's Piranha, which I actually reviewed not that long ago. The script ended up being quite a bit more serious than the original book, which was written by Gary Brandner. The book had a bit more levity in it, I guess. There is a little bit in this, but this ended up being... now, I've never read the book, but apparently it ended up being quite a bit more serious from the book. The film features several interesting cameos, including Roger Corman, as well as Forrest J. Ackerman, who appears in an occult bookstore holding a copy of his magazine, Famous Monsters of Filmland. So that was kind of cool to have those cameos. The special effects were done by Rob Bottin, who had previously also worked on Piranha. He also worked on one of my favorite horror movies of all time, The Thing. Yeah, he's like a master of special effects, practical effects. But he did the transformation scenes of the werewolf in this movie. Originally, it was apparently going to be Rick Baker, but Rick Baker left this production to go work on possibly a challenging opinion, but he went to work on the Superior, An American Werewolf in London. doing the special effects over on that movie. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I know. Don't get all worked up. So because of the success of this film, The Howling, Joe Dante was able to get the gig directing Gremlins for Steven Spielberg, which I thought was kind of cool. This film has 7 sequels. I've never seen any of the sequels. Apparently, Andy Muschietti, who is the director of the remake of It and It 2, is set to direct a TV series for Netflix of The Howling. So we'll see where that goes. The budget for this film was $1.5 million, and it made $17.9 million at the box office, which was a pretty good return on investment, I gotta say. This film got pretty good reviews when it was released in 1981. Especially a lot of the reviews praised Rob Bottin's special effects. It currently holds a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, again, this could be a situation where I didn't see this movie all my life, but I heard about it, and then I watched it, and I was mildly disappointed, I have to say. I would probably give this movie like a 3 out of 5. I thought it really kind of dragged for like a good portion of the film, like 3/4 of the movie. It just seemed like it was dragging, and there really wasn't much going on. It was just a lot of dialogue and exposition. I will say though, when the special effects kicked in, yes, I was all smiles. I was fully engaged in the film, but up until that point, I was kind of just thinking, why do people love this movie so much? Then when I saw the transformation, the werewolf effects, the werewolf itself, I was like, oh, now I get it. I kind of had the same, hear me out, but I kind of got the, I think Neil Marshall must have been a big fan of this movie, because his movie Dog Soldiers, which is also a werewolf movie, some of the way the werewolf was shot, like kind of like almost looking up at the werewolf, like it reminded me of that. And I thought that was really creepy. Like that really got me into the movie a lot. So if you've never seen this movie and you put it on and you're thinking, what? Why are people freaking out over this movie? Just let it ride for a little while, and then you will soon find out. So maybe a 3.5 out of 5 for me, but definitely not my favorite werewolf movie of all time. I would have to say that's An American Werewolf in London, hands down. But again, Bottin's special effects on this are like out of this world when they finally do hit the screen. This edition is a very basic edition from I think it's from 1999, maybe. This is from MGM. It says special edition. The special features are Unleashing the Beast, Making of the Howling, a multi-part documentary, deleted scenes, outtakes, Making a Monster Movie inside the Howling documentary, audio commentary with director Joe Dante, D. Wallace, Christopher Stone, and Robert Picardo, photo gallery, original theatrical trailers, and newly digitally enhanced 5.1 surround audio. This movie has a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes. Beaut. I will give a thumbs up for that. It's from 1981. It's color. What else can I tell you about this? This was put up by MGM and Studio Canal. It's rated R. It's presented in widescreen format. Yeah, maybe it was just like the build-up. Like I'd heard so many great things about this movie, and then I don't know. Maybe I built it up too much in my mind, but this is like I said, this is the special edition. It's got the old flipper disc, which is not my favorite, but what can you do? This is the inside booklet. It's got some facts about the movie, chapter list on the back. I will say some of these, I'm going to read some of these because they're kind of cool. I meant to read them earlier, but throughout The Howling, there are many references in visuals, props, and lines of dialogue to werewolves and wolves in general. How many can you spot? In Dr. Wagner's office, there's a photo of the young Lon Chaney Jr., who played The Wolfman in The Wolfman, 1941. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, 1943. House of Frankenstein, 1944. House of Dracula, 1945. And Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, 1948. There's a copy of Allen Ginsberg's Howl on Chris Halloran's desk. There's a can of Wolf Chili on the sheriff's desk. Bill says to Karen, quote, "Honey, you were raised in LA. The weirdest thing you ever heard of was Wolfman Jack," unquote. During a particularly tense scene, a clip from the cartoon The Big Bad Wolf plays in the background. So yeah, this was pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of references in this movie, which I think Joe Dante put in there to be a little cheeky. But that's The Howling. I know this has its fans who love this, and I would not deny that it's a cool movie. Just probably not my favorite. I would say if I really wanted to watch a werewolf movie, I would put An American Werewolf in London on before this. But maybe I'll revisit this in a couple years, and who knows, maybe I'll have a different take on it. But for now, those are my thoughts on The Howling. What did you think of this movie? Did you watch it? Did you like it? Have you seen any of the sequels? Should I even bother? Usually, like, the first couple of sequels are okay, but like this has 7 sequels, and it's about to get a TV show, so I don't know. Most of those things are just so bad. So I'm probably just going to stick with this one. But leave your thoughts below, what you thought of this movie. Give me the thumbs up if you like this review. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video. And that's The Howling, 1981, Joe Dante's werewolf movie. So I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I will see you at the video store or the thrift store or, just out and about somewhere. Until then, take good care of yourself, especially when it's a full moon. Bye.